Did you know that India has a population of 1.1 billion? Of those, 40% are illiterate. Approximately 350 million live below the poverty line, and 150 million live in the slums. Did you know that India is the birthplace of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism? Hinduism is the religion of 80% of the population. Christianity holds a mere 2.4%. There are 300,000 active mosques in India. This is the most anywhere in the world. I pray that India sees freedom from these religious bonds, and that the strongholds of the caste system would break down. I pray that there would be extreme revolution, and that Christ would reign in India.
The Banjara are the nomadic people of India. There are about 5.6 million of them. The Gypsies stand out among all the other tribes because of their decorative dress. There are three main clans, the Manchuria, the Labana, and the Sharan. They have such life and joy. Their culture is so rich, and I believe that they're special in God's eyes. I pray that they'll be lifted up, that they'll receive freedom and life from their Hindu religion, that they'll find hope in the power of Christ, and that they'll have an open heart to whoever spreads the word to them. That missionaries there will not be persecuted, but they'll be accepted, and that their attitudes towards Christianity will be changed, and that their way of life will be to show the love of Christ to others. And ultimately, I pray that the glory of God will be shown through them.
Christians only make up 2.4% of India's population. Most of these are around the southern part of India, and most of these Christians are Roman Catholic. This is a restricted access nation, and it's becoming harder and harder to send missionaries there. A window of opportunity is closing to help them. My prayer is that the church in India will grow and flourish, and that it will become one of the most powerful and prominent churches in the world.
My prayers are for the Dalits. The Dalits are commonly referred to as the untouchables. Here are some facts that you may or may not have known. The word Dalit means broken or crushed. There are nearly 300 million Dalits in India today. They are beneath the four main castes in India and are considered to be less than human. Examples of tasks performed by the Dalits include unclogging of sewers, disposing of dead bodies, and cleaning bathrooms. The Dalits are forced to live in separate settlements and are prohibited from worshipping in temples. These are just a few facts that describe the Dalits. These people are shunned by society and are looked upon as the lowest of the low. My prayer is that God would allow us to show these people His love in as many ways as possible, that they would know that they are loved by the Father, and that in showing God's love to these people, that they would find their worth in Jesus Christ. I pray that God will bless them while we are there and continue to bless them.
Did you know that the population of people living in the slums in India is over 4%? Over 40 million people are living in poor housing conditions and are without an education or health care. 5 million of this population are young children, ages 0 to 6. In Delhi alone, 20% of the population lives in slums. It is estimated that by 2030, the number of people living in slums in India will be over 1 billion. The slums in India contain 50% of India's diseases. 60% of these diseases could have been treated had these people been able to reach health care. People living in the slums are surrounded by garbage, sewage, and rotting corpses. The water they drink is infested with parasites and disease. Every day, these people are dying due to such awful living conditions. This is why I'm praying for the people living in the slums in India. I'm praying that God will deliver His people, that He will bring comfort, peace, joy, hope, and freedom into their lives. I am praying that through us, God's love will shine. My prayer is that of Psalm 82, that God will defend the weak and fatherless, uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed, rescue the weak and needy, and deliver them from the hand of the wicked. I pray that the hearts of these people will be transformed and that a great nation of devoted followers of Christ will rise.
Did you know that sex trafficking is one of the world's highest profitable businesses, right behind drugs and weapon sales? In India alone, over 23 million girls are involved in the sex industry, and of that, about 2 million are minors or children. Over 200,000 people a year are trafficked. In Mumbai alone, the trafficking of minors and children is a $1 billion a year industry. That's just young girls in Mumbai. 1 out of every 4 girls in India are sexually abused before the age of 4. Many of these girls are sold to by their parents due to economic issues. Some are tricked into it and promised marriage and jobs, while many ended up being abducted. My prayer and heart for this goes out to the many women and children who are lost and caught in this sick and twisted evil industry, which needs to be stopped. I pray that God will intervene and set people free involved in this industry. Many of these people are lost and have nowhere to go. Their voices go unheard. I pray that God will make their voices heard and that they will hear His and He will be set free. I pray that this industry will end, not just in India, but all around the world.
Did you know that in India, over 2 million children under the age of 2 die every year? That 1 of every 2 children are malnourished. 50% of the children aged 6 to 18 are not in school. 71% of all the children in India are illiterate. 2.3 million children are working as child laborers. There are approximately 2 million child commercial sex workers between the ages of 5 and 15 years of age, and about 3.3 million between 15 and 18. 1 of every 6 girls does not live to see her 15th birthday. Females are victimized far more than males during their childhood. My prayer is that the right medical help becomes available to these kids so that they have a shot at life. I pray for the healing in their young lives. I hope and pray that every child in India has the opportunity to hear the truth of God and that they are protected, in that as most of them can be punished for becoming a Christian. I pray that each of these children will be a much needed voice to their families and that their values will be understood, and that each child hears about God with more than just their ears, but their hearts too.
Did you know that roughly 10% of the world's population is an Indian youth under the age of 20? Did you know that there are over 400 million youth in India alone? That's over 12 times the population of Canada. I read an article that said that India's youth can make her a global superpower. This is why I'm praying for God to plant seeds in the hearts of youth and for Him to break the chains that bind them to rituals, to castes, and to lies. I'm praying for God to bring freedom into their lives and for a relationship with Jesus to start. I'm praying that God will rise up this generation so that they can set their country on fire.